other thing that we partnered up on is our bank code. So it is officially called Codebreaker. I have put the link above the actual in the title section. I've put the supplement website in there, and also the link to cracking your code, which takes about 30 seconds. If you're super slow, it'll take you a minute and a half. It's super fast. It's these 4 cards. I could have them out here to put them out. So these are the 4 cards that you're going to see. Go have some fun. Go have some fun with this. This is what we're doing. Hang on, let me put myself. Oh, look at you, show off. You got your cards.
I'm so excited. They just arrived yesterday.
So these are the 4 cards you're going to see, and you're going to read them real quick because there's not that much to read, and you're going to decipher which personality comes first, which you are the most of. So I am this. Well, the last 2 are firm. The first 2 sometimes go up like this. They're about a point apart. When you go do the advanced version, you get numbers. And so my numbers on these 2 are only 1 point apart. So I go like this, then I go like that. So I'm action in business for sure, in real estate for sure. I'm nurturing when I'm coaching. I'm nurturing when I'm teaching meditation. I'm nurturing frequently when I'm personal in my personal life, but also I'm action because I drive my friends nuts because it's like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. Why are we still talking about it? So,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, she does. And I think, if I may, Marianne, an important thing to note here, this is not trying to label you.
no,
It's not putting you in a box.
no,
It's trying to show you
who you are.
what your communication style is. And I started off with almost no pay. But because I knew that, I've been able to grow in that area, and I'm now higher on my K numbers. So don't feel like this is going to put you in a box. This is going to open the box.
Open the box and let you fidget around with it and shift it around if that's what you want. It's like going into your closet and changing your clothes.
Yes.
You don't want to wear the same sweater every day. You don't want to wear the same dress, the same pants. You don't want to do anything the same, right? So what do this? I, on the other hand, had the blueprint at a very low number and managed to bump it right up. I think it actually went up double, like, but it was pretty low. And I didn't really understand blueprints. I was like, what are you thinking about? Why are you thinking about this for so long? Isn't it obvious? And it's like, apparently it's not obvious to everyone. So, you know, sometimes you got to do that. So it's a lot of fun. I had a blast. I took the supercharged, extra fast version of I think June, July, August, September. Yeah, it's about 4-month journey, really fast 4-month journey, really intense 4-month journey to level 5. I should write a book on that. 4 months to level 5.
I think that would be awesome.
Right. And it's helped me understand people better. It's given me much more patience around friends of mine, around clients of mine. I just did a real estate deal with a B that I don't think I would have in the past. I just wouldn't have understood all of his questions, like why so many questions, although that's a K thing, but B's have questions too, and they want answers to them, and they want you to answer them right away. You know, they don't want you to sit there and question, oh, hey, I think it's this. No, it's this. And as far as this question goes, I will get back to you on this, and I will find out the exact number just in case. The K was also pretty low, not as low as my B. But part of my issue with K is that I'm not super techie. But then when I talk to some of my friends, they're like, you have a podcast. You work Zoom and StreamYard. You so are techie. And I said, yeah, maybe according to some people, but I learn what I have to learn. I don't learn all the other things I probably should learn, but that would be a waste of my talent. But some of the stuff, like I need to know StreamYard. I mean, I could hire someone to do it for me each time, but that kind of defeats my purpose. Whereas the person who is going to edit my videos like these and do all that, yeah, that's not going to be me. I'm happy to hire it out.
Now, I think that's part of the power of Bank Code, is that there are people who are more geared to certain things, not just in their communication. It's like people have different languages, and you may be wondering what the B is and the four cards are. Well, you have a dominant style or personality of communication. My top one is a nurturer. So I like to run up to people and say, hey, hey. And if you're a knowledge person, you're kind of standing back there, which is the K, is kind of standing back there going, what's all this fuzzy, soft candy floss stuff? Let's just get on with it. And we are speaking different types of languages and have different expectations. So when I know which way I am operating, and better yet, when the person I'm communicating, basically their language, I can adjust it. And their slogan is make people matter. Because, you know, those people, my husband is a total K. And when I discovered this, I began to understand why there are times we have a communication gap. Because he's not one who's going to rush up to me and hug me and say, I love you every day. Okay, he's the guy who will say, I love you on the day you get married, and he never needs to say it again. Once you start to understand each other, instead of taking those things personally, you can communicate better. And it affects your coaching, it affects your sales, it affects everything as well as how you live your life. So that's, you know, that's how you do it. You get to understand other people better and acknowledge where they're coming from. Sorry, I'm on the talk train again,
Oh, that's
Marianne.
okay. That's okay. I actually had a friend of mine call me yesterday and he's like, call me. And he goes, you're on my first list. And it's funny because somebody else in our group asked me and they said, oh, wow, you had him on your summit. How did you even get a hold of him? But him and I are both A and KB. We thoroughly understand each other. Although he did call me with this great idea, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he sounds like me. He's so my brother. He's like, I think I'm going to do this. Do you have anybody? And I go, not right now. Can you tell me a little more? No, we just talked about it today. We haven't, I'm not into detail. And I go, I know, but you're going to have to learn a little detail, right? To be able to converse with people. And he goes, no, I'll learn it, but not right now. Right now, I'm just like, oh, wow, this is going to be exciting. And I said, well, let me tell you, if I had that, and I would definitely use you because I don't like doing that. So I'm happy to source that out. I'm happy to source out a bunch of stuff. If it's got anything and everything to do with technology or admin, I am so happy to source that out. I can't even begin to tell you. But this other gentleman, he is not. He is much more of a B. In fact, I sometimes have a hard time communicating with him because I find that when I say something, I'm not sure if I'm saying it a particular way, but I believe he's either a B or a K or first, and then the other one would be second. So he's either BK or KB, and then the others come. And I'm listening to him and I'm going, why are you saying that? And he's all like, oh, why did you say this? And I said, well, I didn't say that. I said this. This is what I said, word for word. This is what I said. This is what I meant. I did not mean what you just translated inside of your head. And it was funny because we were in the course itself one day, and I can't remember what we were doing. I think it was I don't know if we were in breakout rooms, and I was supposed to. So with the A and the N sometimes too, but the A is like direct opposite to a B. And I had to speak to a B. That was my assignment, was to speak to a B and to present to a B. And there was a lady there that was B was her first one, which is hilarious because we really didn't have that many Bs, like people that led with a B in
Won't
the
you just tell us? Won't you just tell us what is a B?
blueprint.
Yeah, we're not swearing at people.
No, no, it's
It's
not that kind of.
actually it's one of the
It's like
styles.
not, I'm an A, I'm not that kind of A. Well, maybe to some people I could be, who knows? Anyways, it was just funny because she was the B personality, which is the dark blue, which is blueprint, and I'm action, which is the red one, and sometimes nurturing when I'm doing what I'm doing, right? When I'm teaching meditation, I'm not going to go, oh, come on, everybody, let's go. Yeah, we don't let's go in meditation. We also don't hug it out as soon as, although I do hug my real estate clients most of the time, but it's not always done, right? So I go and I do my presentation and she's like, I didn't see anything there that was for me. And I'm like, what? And mind you, the instructor kind of called her out a little bit and she goes, I think you're missing the point and I think you're hearing something else, because she had had a private conversation with her like maybe 5 minutes before that. And I think she was still carrying this energy with her and just lashed out at whatever action person was going to come along, because she had a hard time working with actions, and I have a hard time working with the blueprints. Obviously I don't speak blueprint. It's like speaking Spanish. I don't. It's like French. I don't. I don't. If I'm going to live there, I might learn it. If I'm going there for a visit, yeah, I'll learn a couple of words. I'm not really going to learn the whole language. I don't have that much time, right? But that it was funny because for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean anything bad at all. Like there was no negative connotation of any sort. And I'm going, wow, she took that as being something not good. And I'm thinking, how many times have I spoken to clients or people that maybe just completely took something I said the completely wrong way? Wow, that's intense, And I said, oh my gosh, I had no idea, but that's good to know for me that there's people that are going to take what I say and twist it up. I mean, I know this anyways from the whole metaphysics thing, but still, from a very grounded point of view, wow, they're just going to take what I said and make it work for whatever they're feeling at the moment, so that part doesn't change from metaphysics to reality. But absolutely, bank code is for sure, it will help you communicate better. And let's face it, more than half the problems that we have in this world are due to the fact that people cannot communicate. Can you see this as being such a super awesome, amazing tool to help you understand other people better, so that when they do react, you don't take it personally, first of all, and second of all, you have some respect for where they're coming from, because this is what they do. This is where they come from.
Yeah.
And you think about, kids that are misunderstood, like teenagers, like we were all messed up when we were teenagers. I'm 62 now. We were all messed up, but I've never heard of anyone, oh, hey, you know what? I'm thinking suicide. I don't remember anybody ever saying that. I'm not saying they didn't want to say it. There wasn't anyone who thought it and didn't want to say it. I'm just saying nobody said it. That wasn't really our thing. It was more like, how do we get out of the house when we're grounded? That was our big trick of the day. And, nurturers don't really know that you can come up to an action, we'll hug you right back. Because I'm a hugger and I do nurturing to nurturing. Obviously there'll be all kinds of hugs all day long. They probably won't get anything done. They'll talk about the hugs. They may not get business done, but they're going to have a lot of fun. Action to action, same kind of thing. Let's go here. They might get a little competitive. They might want to play a game. That'll be great. But if a nurturer comes up, who is the biggest hugger in the group, comes up to like a B, a blueprint, or a knowledge, which is a K, oh my gosh, that's going to be disaster. That's a recipe for disaster, because in a nurturer's brain, it's like, why wouldn't you want to hug. I don't understand. I'm not doing business with you if you're not gonna hug me. And K's, the knowledge are huge. They're probably not gonna hug you, but they'll do wonders to your computer. Nurturers, probably they'll hug you really awesome, but they're not gonna know how to do anything on your computer, really. You're lucky they know how to sign in and you know, read their email and write an email and, you know, the basics, that same thing, because I have also nurturing. So basics for me, stuff I need to know for A, and for A might understand technology more, but I don't, but so I go more under the nurturers that way. But boy, oh boy, the bees will have all kinds of Excel spreadsheets. Can you put that onto an Excel spreadsheet? No, because I don't know how, because that's going to drive me nuts. So you're going to have to work with me here. I'll give you something written because I know you need it. It's going to be limited. It's going to be so limited because A's don't write anything. We're the handshake people. We're going to make a deal on a handshake.
Yes.
Now, if you're making that deal with a handshake with a B, they're full of integrity. So that's a good handshake. They're not shaking your hand unless they're 100% sure. But when they say, I'm doing business with you, I'm doing business with you. Now, that part of B is my thing because I'm big on integrity. And if I tell you I will be there,
Yes.
I will be there, even if I have a fever, even if, you know what I mean? Like if I can, I will definitely be there, or I will do it. Or if I promised you this, I will definitely move forward with my promise. That is for me. That's a me thing. That's for my own energy. It is for you too, because my reputation in business is very important to me. So I haven't had very many people that wouldn't want to do business with me. It's the one, maybe the ones that need a lot of Excel spreadsheets and a lot of information. Maybe those don't want to, but even those are doing pretty decent business with me because they make their own notes for themselves because they know I won't do it. And if I do it, you're not going to understand what I'm saying anyways, because I'm going to do the short form. I have a publishing company and I'm a horrible speller, people. My grammar is hideous. If you receive text messages from me, I feel sorry for you. And if I'm in a hurry, you better speak German because that's pretty much the way it's coming out. Honest to God, and I apologize for that in advance, but that's just the way it is. I know it sounds super unprofessional to me, but this is the way I run my business and I do pretty good and I win awards. So it's not horrible. But is it super organized? Am I that person? No. And that's okay. You know why? Because if we were all the same, oh my gosh, I would be the first one that would be bored out of my mind. I have this person's the same as me. What am I going to, what am I going to learn from them? No, I want to learn stuff from you. Yeah. You're going to be different than me. And I love that. So now I was on my soapbox. So your turn.
I just think it's amazing how communication is so important. We do it all the time. And if you don't know who you're speaking to, you don't, as you said earlier, you don't know that they are understanding your intent. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you are on time for a meeting with a blueprint, who's a very business-oriented person, they will probably consider you late. If you're early, you're on time. If you're half an hour early, you're early. And that's important to them. They see that as part of how you do business. Now, if you know in advance that that's what they're like, and that's their part of their values, you can respond to that differently. You're not jumping on the minute that a call starts. And huge business deals have been lost. And I've been so empowered by the training that I've received in bank code. And you know what? You can take the bank code and crack your code for free. And you get back this amazing breakdown of your different personality styles, according to what you did when you clicked on Marianne's link and selected the cards appropriately. And it'll then give you that feedback. Not only does it give you the feedback of your preferred communication styles, it gives you information about how you would relate to another communication style. So powerful. And that's all free. That's all free. So connect with Marianne for a link if you're one of Marianne's peeps. Connect with me if you're one of my peeps. And it is so powerful. If I get on a call with you and I know you're a knowledge, I know I need to have a lot more information than just what's sitting in my head. You need the documentation. You need to go away and investigate it. If you're in action, I know I need to have that sign up form there because you'll be ready to jump in. And let me tell you, with an action person, if you don't give them that link right then and there, they've moved on to the next thing because that's what actions are about. Does it mean there's anything wrong with any of those styles? Absolutely not. We all have all four. But understanding them is where the power is. And this is an incredible system. So I'm so excited that Marianne introduced me to this, got me into this, because it really has changed my communication style. And now when I connect with people, I automatically think, okay, what traits are they exhibiting so I can best communicate with them?
It's perfect, right? It's like you're talking to a person who maybe just got here from China and all they do is speak Chinese. Wouldn't it be awesome if you actually spoke the language and now you can communicate with them? That's kind of a little bit different. Yeah. It's kind of what this is. I do want to take a moment to tell you some of the written down personality traits on these cards. And these are the cards that you're going to get on the link. The link is right above the video here. It's within this video. And if you can't find it, connect with me, message me privately, or if you feel so inspired, then please connect with Nikki. Either one of us are in there, and it's an amazing program. They have an extension on LinkedIn where you can actually see the codes of different people. How would that feel if you knew the codes of the people that you knew you were talking to? Let me tell you, I worked as a recruiter. I lived on LinkedIn. I used to call HRs of companies, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, C whatever O's. And honestly, if I had had that information, knowing how to speak to them, because some people were like, yeah, hurry up, get to the point. We don't have a lot of time. And the other people were like, no, give me all the details. And let me tell you, as far as HR goes, I'm not saying all of them, and maybe not so much the directors of HR in a very large company, because they're hardcore leaders and they might have to do more business than actual HR. But most HRs have an N. Yes. Most HRs, that's exactly what they are. I was talking to my friend about a friend of ours, and I said he really should have been an HR. That boy should have been an HR person. He cares more about other people than he does about himself. Like it's almost to a fault. And if you're a salesperson, if you're a B2B salesperson, chances are probably, I want to say 90%, and I'm going out on a limb by saying this. Please don't email me and tell me I'm wrong and this, that, and the other. I'm just guesstimating. I'm throwing numbers out, but I'm telling you 90% of them are A's. Actions who are can't sit still long enough in an office, so they have to be out on the road. You know, and I get like that. I have to get out. I have to get out, but then I like being at home. Now, that's just, that could be an age thing for me too. The older I get, I just want to stay more at home. I feel like I can get more done on a virtual platform, right? Like when we're doing this, there's no traveling. It's, you know, I can still take my dog out in the morning. I can still be here the whole time. I can take him out after. Pardon me. And I can do all these really wonderful things. And so I love the virtual world, but I like in person as well. But I am going to read this to you. So nurturers care, or their values. So this is just a list of values for the nurturers, which are the yellows. relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. If you're a nurturer, these are that are most important to you. If you're an action, you value, this is how I know I'm an action. It's my favorite word. I even had a clothing store called Freedom, and I also had that was in Europe. And here in Canada, I actually worked in a store called Freedom. Number one, freedom on the list. Flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention. They love attention, stimulation, competition. Oh my gosh, winning, fun, and image. Do you know that I use the word fun to almost everyone whenever someone says, hey, I'm over here? Oh my gosh, you have the big ones. Oh no, you just, okay, sorry. It looked like it was a giant one. And I'm like, oh, they should totally make giant ones. So when you're doing presentations on stage, you can actually see the big giant ones. And I always say, have fun, have fun, have fun, have fun. And if I'm doing something, I have to have fun or I'm not going to be doing it for long. Let me tell you that. If I didn't like doing summits, like people are like, I can't believe you do a summit every month. Are you crazy? And I said, no, but I also make it simple for myself because that's what A's like. We like simple, like don't, get to the point and forget all the other drama stuff and and all the other cobwebs inside of your head that are going to only block you and stop you from receiving and doing and make you a procrastinator and you don't need all of that. Okay, so K is the green one. So this is knowledge. And these are their values. So these people are the Tesla people. These are my engineers. Okay, learning. That is their number one value. They probably, if you know of that, I have a really great friend that's a knowledge. I'm sure she starts with a knowledge. I can't remember her exact code. But she has, I don't even know how many degrees. And I don't even know how many doctorals she's got. Like tons, like not 1, 3, 4. Intelligence and logic. Don't be joking around too much with them. Make sure you have your information. If you are talking to these people, and if you think you're going to get into an argument with them, which first of all, I would suggest you do not do because they will never, ever back down, ever. It's just, it probably is a little bit of an ego thing, but it is what it is. It's just part of their personality. But if you're going to get in the ring with them and if you're going to go toe to toe, you better know your information. It better be 110% right, or they will find a way to prove you wrong, which is hilarious. I have some clients like this, but I love them to death. So learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology. They're the techie people. They're the ones that are going to fix up our computers. Research and development. Science. Anybody here watch what's it called? The Big Bang Theory? Sheldon. This is Sheldon. Universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, and the big picture. Now, this is where I have a lot in common with the K's. The big picture is me. I'm a big picture kind of person. I'm not a this instant, I'm going to feel good, so give me this. Sometimes I am, but most of the time it's big picture. And blueprint. My new best friend, the one I had to study the most. Stability. Who doesn't want stability in a friend or a partner or a business partner or a life partner? Like that's a great quality. Structure, not really my thing, but hey, systems. You want to impress a blueprint, you use the word systems. I have a system for you. All you have to do is follow it. Oh, they love that. Planning. Oh my gosh, so much planning in advance. So great. I can't live my life with that kind of planning because it's almost too much in advance, but it's good. Predictability. Oh, who doesn't? Which lady out there doesn't want a man who's a little predictable? Like, come on. And who doesn't want a wife that's a little predictable too? Responsible. Responsibility is their middle name. Duty. This is their duty. It's their duty. Rules, credentials. They love credentials. So I like a little bit of credentials, and I like some titles, hence the reason the doctor's on my Zoom here. I don't always use it. And tradition. So I'm not terribly traditional, but I was certainly married to one that loved tradition. I'm just going to say this, and this is true. If you have a tattletale kid, he's probably a blueprint. They love tattletaling. They think it's their duty to tell on you. Not cool. That's who they are. And they're fantastic accountants. I want my accountant to be a blueprint. I do not want my accountant. I mean, my accountant, because he's been my accountant for about, it's coming up to 25 years. So I have a lady that takes care of my stuff and the man who owns it. And I've had several accountants there. So when I walk in, I hug both of them because it's been 25 years. But it's had to be 25 years for me to be able to do that.
Yes.
I didn't walk in the first day and say, hey, let's hug. No, I want my accountant to be a blueprint. I want that. I do not want my accountant to be anything like me because that would be scary. Your numbers would not be correct and you would get fined, and you do not want me as an accountant. So that is not my superpower. My superpower is people, sales, talking to people. This will help you with your sales. If you are any kind of an entrepreneur, you are selling. I don't care what you're selling, but you're selling it. This will help you communicate those sales, not to be so salesy. How's that?
Yes.
For an answer. I don't like being sold to, but I sell all day long. And so I try to do what I can. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I never mess up. I'm just saying, hey, you know, I try to create a relationship, which is a nurturing thing to do because they're all about relationships and the higher purpose. So I have the line of supplements that we were talking about earlier that I sell, also have the skincare products here too. I just don't have them yet in Canada. So I put the picture up because I'm manifesting them coming to Canada. They are supposed to be here this year. So these supplements, we have made some arrangements with a charity so that if people want to purchase them, we will send it over to this gentleman and he will package them up and send them off to Africa, because he's affiliated with an orphanage out in Africa, and they've been doing this now for a number of years, and his friend is there. So he sends it to his friend disperses it. His friend and his wife actually have moved there. There's more to it than that. It's not just an orphanage. They started off with just the orphanage, but now they've involved the entire community. That is perfect for nurture. The nurturers buy candies, we send them over to them, and they have, you know, and they get a receipt. Now, the only problem is with Canada, because of the charity, they can't actually issue out a receipt in Canada. So I'll be putting something together for that, for the Canadians and the Americans as well. But in the US, you can absolutely do that, and you can get a receipt for your taxes and do a good thing at the same time. So it's sales with a higher purpose and community and oh my gosh, and relationships and charity. I mean, that's perfect. That is like a born thing for nurturers, which is fantastic. Right? And so what do you think? What kind of personality works at Tesla, do you think? I'd say
I think it depends on the job they're doing.
it does. It does. I'm not talking about sales because the sales are
Yeah.
at the, other place. And there's probably not at this stage, there's probably not a lot of need for a lot of selling, because if people know that they want a Tesla, they want a Tesla, period, done. There's no,
I certainly don't see a nurturer walking around there, working there, going to everybody, oh, you did such a good job today. And how are you feeling today? It's going to be your blueprints and your pays, the
This
guys
one,
with the knowledge.
this one is probably like 70% of the people are this.
Yeah.
And then there's some
Yeah.
30, maybe 25, and then maybe somewhere in there, maybe HR, maybe someone else, maybe an inside salesperson. I don't know what. Maybe there's 5% left over there, but that's, that's the kind of thing we're talking
And how
about.
powerful for the HR person to be able to communicate better with the engineer.
Yes. Yes,
That's
because
what this is all about.
HRs are very understanding, they're very patient, they know this is how it rolls. This just gives them an extra. They already know, oh, they're dealing with him. So this one here, the knowledge, even after you've explained everything for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, you've been explaining all of this, they're still going to go home after. So this is their answer. Let's say you've been talking to them for an hour, explaining the whole, you've probably described when the company was born, how it was born, who signed the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. They're going to go home and say, okay, thanks so much. I now have enough information to do my own research. So they are going to go, going to ask some more questions later on. These ones are going to make, okay, but what's the system that I have to follow? How do I structure that? Use the word structure, use the word system, and security, stability.
And like me as a nurturer, I said it earlier with the candies. There are so many white papers and videos and things proving the science. You know what? I don't care. Just tell me whether it works or not, because I'm a nurturer. Now, I have learned to ask those questions, which is why my numbers went up on the others.
Right.
But
And
yes,
these two, when they meet you, they'll hug you, they'll, if they have to shake your hand, they will, but it's going to be by the end of the meeting, you'll be hugging each other, these two, because they're excited. These are excited. This better be interesting. You better hold this one's attention, or he's going to get bored, or she's going to get bored. This one, yeah, let's talk community. Oh yeah, so we're going to build some tiny houses for single moms. There you go, perfect. With the money that we make from here, let's say, right?
yes.
These two, it's a system, and you better not be late. Oh my gosh, if you're talking to this one, you had better not be late. And late is anything after a half an hour before the meeting's supposed to start. And you better not come up and hug them. They are not interested in being hugged. They are interested in information, the credentials of maybe, good to hear your, in my case, doctor, reverend, I've done this for a long time. This is what's going to create trust, and here we go, blah, blah, blah.
Respect and formality. So handshakes. Sorry for the blueprint. Yeah.
This one, absolutely handshakes. No, nothing else. Business, stay business, very professional. That's all they're interested in.
No, you're holding up the wrong one.
I know. Handshake before you start the meeting, and handshake as you're leaving the meeting. That's a blueprint. So I was going to say, so this one here is going to drive a Mercedes, because Mercedes are awesome. They're cool. They cost a lot of money. They're a lot of fun. They're fast. It's going to make them look successful. Good. This one is going to drive a Mercedes because they're really good cars. There's a lot of information on how good a Mercedes is. It's proven. There's a system that they use. It's proven. This is why they drive a Mercedes, because it's a great car. This one, I'm not saying there aren't any. This one's probably driving a van, because they want to fit the whole community into that van and drive them around, right? So all your hippie friends are this, just so we're clear. All your crazy business people are this. And all your people that need extra information, need some Excel spreadsheets, you better have some good write-ups on that, or they don't really value that so much. So that's just a quick little, synopsis of what we're talking about here. I don't know if you want to add anything, Nikki.
I just think it's so powerful, and it is so simple, not complicated. That's why you can do it in like 90 seconds if you're slow. It really is simple. And you get to empower yourself by knowing more about yourself.
If you're interested, please talk to one of us. We will connect you. We will put you on a three-way call. And lately, they haven't really been doing this, but lately, throughout the summer, they were offering some information classes
Yes.
for free. And I'm hoping that they're going to continue with that. So when we have the next one, typically I will post it. Typically, Nikki will post it. If you are interested in that as well, I'm happy to take your name. Nikki's happy to take your name, and we'll call you when the next one comes up. Now, we did just have that last week, so I don't see one coming up for the rest of October, maybe November or December before Christmas. I'm not sure. They're really great, and they're $2,000 courses that they give out for free. So
Yeah.
they're fantastic, and they have different options that, I don't want to get into here, but if you are interested, please connect with us. And any final words from you, Nikki? Or no, she's already muted herself. She's
Just,
done.
there's a bit of noise in the background. I think the final word is that there are options. There is a program you can step into, but to crack your code is free.
Yes.
This is their gift to you. So you
Oh,
lose
it's
nothing
fun.
by doing it. Yeah, it is fun.
Who doesn't want to learn a little more about themselves, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's our favorite subject. What's your favorite subject? Me. Okay. Actions. That's the situation with them all the time anyways. But it's kind of like, I like playing around with signs, like zodiac signs. I don't really understand all of them. I don't understand every little thing, but I do understand a little about each one, so I know what to expect. This is more grounded, and it's more professional, and you can use this pretty much anywhere. I think people have been learning. I know one of my friends had a really tough time with her son. She is this. He is this. He is quiet, introverted, doesn't want to be in a bunch of, she is crazy. She's all like, hey, let's party. She doesn't understand why he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't understand why she won't leave him alone. When they
Yeah.
finally figured out these things, they started having respect for each other, and now they have a really great mother-son relationship.
Mhm.
I think this could save kids that are contemplating
Yeah.
suicide because they're so different. They're the black sheep of the family. That used to be a joke. I don't think that is anymore. It's hard to come from a large family, not that I do, but this is just from some of my clients that I've heard. They come from a large family. Everyone's like this, and they come along and they're super this, and they don't know what to do. And nobody understands anybody because it's like, well, why are you so different? Right. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I can't understand what they want. I don't know what they, I don't know how to deal with. I must be the odd weirdo. And then, all kinds of self-worth issues coming out of that. And I think this could help. I would love to see these more and more in schools. I've done speaking in schools on this. I would like to see more. And I think in every company, I don't think there's a company that wouldn't benefit from this. Even if all you did, even if you weren't in sales, if all you did was want to try to get along better with your colleagues now that you understand them. Can you imagine teachers? Kids, if you knew what the kids were, you would understand why they're doing what they're doing, why they're quiet. Not because they don't know the answer, because they're not the first ones to put up their hand.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's amazing is that if you're going to crack your code, there are cards for the kids with pictures on instead of the words.
Yeah,
And
that's the kids, yeah.
we don't only get to work on our communication and understand ourselves when we get older, how powerful they can start when they're young. And that leads me to my last thought, which really was a mind bend for me. One of my heroes is Les Brown, one of the greatest communicators, one of the greatest speakers, and he has powerful things to say about this. He has, I don't know if I can say verbally endorsed this, but I have seen him with a quote about this on social media. So yes, this is something. This is not brand new. It's newish, but it's been going for years. And the founder has been a TEDx speaker speaking on communication. In fact, not a TEDx speaker, but the larger stage of a TED speaker. And she is incredible. And yet she still takes time to come in and train us personally. You know, we have calls. I'm on a smaller level than Marianne at this point, but she still takes time to come in and do it because this is her passion. She is so invested in seeing the whole world recognize one another and making each other matter.
Yes,
That's me.
she's wonderful, actually, and she's a hardcore A, and she has a very interesting story. Very interesting story. And her, so it's Sherry Tree, and then her wife, Esther. Esther also has a wonderful story. She had a hardcore car accident in this one. Anyways, I won't get into it. Please come to, if you are interested, we will connect you to the free one. If we don't have a free one, we're happy to share whatever the next summit will be, or the next, yeah, sometimes it's a summit, sometimes it's a course, an intro course, it just depends. And I have just completed level 5, which allows me to teach pretty much almost anything. I wouldn't go into hugely large or just yet on my own. I'd probably bring Sherry with me, or Michelle. And Michelle is usually here, but she is also at an event herself. So everyone is super busy, but I do want to say thank you to everyone. I want to thank all my speakers, whoever's listening. Thank you to everyone who commented. Thank you to everyone who has listened to us live, who will listen to us on the replay, who will later on YouTube and everywhere else. Thank you all so much. I love doing this. I love it. Everything is great. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you. What a privilege.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.